Welcome to Trade Pro. In this video, I'm testing another YouTuber's trading strategy 100 times in a row so you can see how it performs over a series of trades. This one was requested from a Patreon supporter, so it's my first Patreon supported video. Shout out to the Patreon supporters. I just launched my Patreon 24 hours ago, and there are already 25 patrons supporting me. Now, that's $254 per month. My goal for 3 months to 1 year was $1,000 per month. So I'm already a quarter of the way there in 1 day for my 3 month to 1 year target. So really phenomenal. I thought there were only going to be like 5 or 10 after the first day. So really awesome to see that. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate the support. But anyway, let's get to the strategy. I'll show the other YouTuber. Here he is. It's the trading channel. So a lot of you guys probably know this channel. It's one of the biggest trading YouTube channels in existence with 623,000 subscribers. The strategy video is called Super Easy RSI Indicator Strategy for Beginners, Insane Results. You know, when I saw insane results in the title that I wanted to make a video on it. But anyway, this guy seems really good. Like, he seems humble, he seems genuine and honest. So I watched his entire 20-minute video on it to pick up all the nuances of the strategy. In his video, he even tests it 50 times and shows the results of that. And he does a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio for his test. The difference between his test and my test is just going to be that risk reward ratio. So the Patreon supporter wanted me to do a little bit of a difference. So instead of taking all the profit at 1-to-1 risk reward, it's going to be move the stop to break even at 1-to-1 risk reward and then target 1 to 1.3 risk reward with the whole position. Okay, so that is going to be what the test will be for this 100. So let's go over the strategy here. There's a 20 period EMA, 10 period RSI, and you're essentially just waiting for the RSI to go either overbought or oversold, so over 70 or under 30, and you're going to enter in the direction of the momentum. So RSI goes up above 70, you're buying. RSI goes below 30, you're selling. Stop's going to go just below or above the entry candle. Again, targeting 1 to 1.3 risk reward, moving the stop to break even at 1-to-1. And before you can take another entry, you need to wait for a pullback into the 20 period EMA. So let me show you an example or two, and then I'll do all the tests. Okay, so if we look here, you can see there's a pullback into the EMAs, and then it goes into oversold right here on this candle. So that is a short entry. You're going to put that stop just above that candle and then target 1-to-1 before you move the stop to break even, and then target 1-to-3 for the actual take profit target. All right, so that one is clearly a winner. Let's wait for another pullback into the EMAs before we can take another entry. So pullback right here, and then it goes oversold right here on this candle. So that right there is another sell signal. So targeting 1-to-1 for that stop at break even, which it hits, and then you move stop to break even and target 1-to-3 or 1 to 1.3, I should say. So that one's also a winner. And then you wait for another touch. Here it never goes back into oversold, it just breaks above the 20. So you then take a buy on the next time it goes up above 70. Let's see, does it actually go above 70? Yeah, it does. So it goes above 70 right on this candle, and it looks like this one gets stopped out if you were to set your stop just below there. So this one does not reach its target. But anyway, you kind of get the point of the strategy. In the original video here, he kind of shows a bunch of different examples where sometimes he targets 1 to 1.3, sometimes he uses a stop that's much farther away than the entry candle. So he says it's up to you how you want to do your stop loss in that video. I'm just going to go by how he tested it. So he tested it with the 1-to-1. The only difference is going to be I'm moving stop to break even at 1-to-1 and targeting 1 to 1.3. And you know, in some of his tests, it was kind of I didn't really get how he was choosing where to place the stop, but he was talking about targeting areas of resistance or support or significant areas on the chart to target. But I'm just going to keep it consistent and do the entry candle top or bottom for the stop loss. All right. But anyway, let's get into the 100 test and see how this thing does. All right, the results are in after the 100 back test on pound dollar using a 1 to 1.3 risk reward ratio on the 15-minute time frame. It took 2 months of price data to find the 100 signals, and there were 51 winners, 41 losses, and 8 break-even trades. The most losses taken in a row was 7, the most wins in a row was 7, and the most break-even in a row was 2. The gain on account, 25.3%, so good results. This thing did pretty well, especially for only 2 months of price data. So with the calculations over here, you can see how we arrive at 25.3. 51 wins each time you gain 1.3% on your account equals 66.3% gain on the account, 8 break even, 0. And then 41 losses minus 1% each time, minus 41% on your account. And this doesn't include fees and or spreads, but the net gain on the account, 25.3%. And if you risk 2% per trade, the gain would be 50.6%. So really good results from this strategy, especially for something where it's only 2 months of price data. As normally when you have a strategy that gives a ton of entry signals, the results are much worse. So shout out to the trading channel, definitely putting out a pretty solid strategy based on this test. Now this is only 100 signals, so you can't really base everything off of this, but based on his results and my results, so far it's looking pretty good for the strategy. And a couple things that I would note is the risk reward ratio being 1 to 1 or 1 to 1.3. I think that you're going to get a better gain on your account if you're getting up closer to that 1 to 2 or 1 to 1.8, 1 to 1.5, something along those lines. I think your gain on the account is going to increase as you go higher on that risk reward ratio. Another thing was you could probably save some of the losses by using a stop loss that is just a little bit pulled away from the candle, because when I was noticing some of the entries, the candle would close, you'd enter, and then the next candle would come right back down, tap just the lows, take out just the lows of that entry candle before continuing the trend in the direction. So take out the position and count as a loss for this test. So you could probably save maybe 4 or 5 of these losses if you did that. And the only difference would be, the target would be a bit farther away. But I think you would still save a couple of the losses and it would net you a greater return by doing that. So that's just kind of my speculation on it. But anyway, let's put this thing on the spreadsheet and see how it compares. It did pretty decently well, so can't complain. Check out his channel, and seems like a good guy as well, just based on watching that video of his. I watched the full 20 minutes, so I spent some good time with him. Anyway, let's go to the spreadsheet. All right, so here it is on the spreadsheet, falling at spot number 26 out of 47 tests done so far. And I was pleasantly surprised by the performance of the strategy, considering how simple it is and just the nature of the strategy. I was not expecting the gain on the account to be as good as it is. Using a 1 to 1.3 risk reward ratio as well, I was thinking, okay, the gain on the account is probably going to be like 15%, but this thing surprised me, so that's why I literally put it in the title, surprisingly good results. It really did have surprisingly good results in my eyes, and You could probably improve the results doing a higher risk reward ratio, so 1 to 1.5, 1 to 1.7, something like that. And also changing the way you do the stop loss. So maybe pulling that stop loss a little bit farther away might save some of the losses. But who knows until you actually do the actual testing. It's just speculation from me at this point. But good results. Only took 2 months of price data to find 100 signals as well. So very impressive. Good strategy based on all the testing that we've seen about it. So yeah, I'm impressed. Awesome stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate you so much. Thank you so much to the Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. If you're interested in joining the Patreon, I have a special video for the Patreon supporters, 30 minutes of tips and tricks that I personally use that I do not show on the YouTube channel. So if you're interested in that or just supporting me, you just like the content, check me out on Patreon. Really appreciate you guys. And if you don't want to do that, just hit the like button. That's all I ask. Hit that like button. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Have a nice day, guys.